All right, we are on a moonlight run and doing 6 miles. The weather's perfect. Just need some running gloves. Look at that moon. We're gonna bouncy cam because with time change, there's not enough light to smooth out to do the smoothing. So this is what we get. We've had a major family major medical emergency happen in the past few days. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you gotta expect these kinds of things happen. And also, it's so nice to be running in a neighborhood with, you see that way, there's my finger, that way, with all the lights, everything, and then turn and then run down this. The stars and the crickets, tree frogs, all that stuff. And so I thought I'd record a little bit. I'm listening two times in a row because it's so good. Musashi was a samurai. It was like the world's most successful samurai. And when he was older, he retired from the business and then wrote a book. And it's, at least part of it's called The Path of the Loner. 21, I think, principles of pretty much the opposite of toxic masculinity. You know, a warrior that's seen stuff will do anything not to go to war. And you know, don't be jealous of others. Don't be attached to your position in life. Try to maintain some discipline and things. Don't pursue money, pursue happiness. Don't pursue happiness too hard. That'll make you miserable too. All kinds of good stuff. It's so good that halfway through listening to it, I was like, man, I need to really pay attention and listen to this again. I think it's called Dokkodo. Dokkodo is the name of the book that he wrote before he passed away. It kind of made me think about, oh wait, something funny that happened is, I'm gonna post a picture of it later. It's just a toilet on the side of the street a couple miles back. I need to clean my camera lens. And I was like, life gives you signs. Sometimes the signs are things are falling apart. But it's kind of like meditation. Whenever things are bad, that's when you need to do it even more. And it's nice to have a touchstone. I'll get criticism from some people that are like, you work out too much or whatever. It's all about working out. No, actually, I work out on a specific schedule, and then that allows me to stay fit and healthy so that I'm not a burden on others, or I can help other people and stuff. Because I tried not working out halfway through college and my body fell apart. And then you get all these medical issues, and then people my age, starting in your 30s, that don't exercise, they start falling apart. And funny. Like just like you wouldn't forget to eat, and you plan it throughout your day, and you make it happen no matter what. You need to make it happen. Your exercise. So the status of the 400, East Texas 400, the reason I started getting things together weeks ago is because not just with the current political climate and such, also just life in general, stuff always happens. Always. Hold on, I clip this and take a sip of water. There we go. Stuff always happens. And so if you knock out some of the stuff earlier rather than later and start getting your stuff together, you've given yourself some breathing room for when the inevitable happens. And so I'm going up to Tyler for a couple days, maybe. So last weekend I took a couple days to go do stuff with my mom in Houston, and now I'm turning around because of medical emergency and trying to help out with Emily's dad, who is an example of somebody who's been extremely fit his entire life, just working. But he's got a medical issue, so I'm gonna go and hang out with him and keep an eye on him, because Emily has a job she's only been at for a couple months, and she can't take that much time off, because she doesn't have the time to take it. And my job, I've been at 20 years. And there was a time earlier on when Kai was little and we used up a lot, or all. We had no sick leave left, no vacation left. But I've banked up a lot of sick and vacation and can take the time. And I can do a little bit, we're not supposed to, but I could probably get a little bit of work done remotely. And then also, my boss was raised in Europe, and his mindset, he's American, but he was raised in Germany as a kid, and his mindset of how to work is the opposite of, it falls right alongside with me. He's not the American work yourself to death to prove yourself and in fear of everything. He's like, if you got vacation time, use it. Work, rest, recover, make work fun. Okay, come on, we gotta go, dude. And it's more about getting your job done than performative whatever. And then he does stuff on the side too. He teaches classes, kind of like in project management, like I teach y'all in coaching on the side. So I really like my boss. So when I asked him if I could go to Tyler to help take care of Emily's dad, he was like, absolutely. And that's a good boss, man. So thank you. Name withheld. I try to keep people that aren't in what I do out of it. I don't even like being on social media that much. I just do it because it's very I wouldn't say it's lonely. I guess it's kind of lonely, but I like being alone. But I also like to share what I'm doing with people. I think there's a personality type that you like to do stuff with other people, but also by yourself at the same time, like as a group, but alone. They take 10 guys and go hike in the woods, try to climb a mountain. Each person just kind of does it their own way, but you're still together. Go as a group and paddle down a big river, but you have your own boat, but you're still together. But anyway, I got in a decent ride yesterday, and I can feel it in my legs today. The thing is, the race starts Friday morning, and that gives me X amount of days. I can't really get any faster between now and then. In fact, I know that, but just want to stay on top of fitness and work out some. Come on, let's go. And instance after instance, Emily's dad might be out of the hospital in time to come by and see me as I go by. That would be really cool. I would really, really like that, to see him out. We'll see. He needs to rest and recover. But you got to stay on top of the fitness. But also, the other thing is, a lot of people have some of their most amazing performances after having been sidelined from an injury or sickness or something. Dylan Johnson got 10th or whatever at Unbound after being really sick. And honestly, what happened is he was in the hypnotic stage of just training and a break, even though he was sick, a break actually allowed him to absorb all that training, and then bam, took off. So psychologically it's difficult, but if you step aside and just look at the facts, I train all the time, hardly ever take breaks, and then what I do is when life pops up, my friend John Hirsch calls it getting lifed. When you get lifed, you sip of fuel. Those are actually opportunities for you to rest and recover. So this is a training strategy. I'm here to train. Speaking of training strategies, I've never heard anybody else mention it, but it's one I've kind of figured out, is if you're an age grouper with a job and family especially, one way to train is just train all the time. And then when you get lifed, which will happen every few weeks anyway, that's when you take it easy and rest and recover. That's very Taoism, the Tao of training as a person with a full-time job and family, is you're gonna get life. Anyway, every few weeks or every couple weeks. And just imagine if you had the mindset, which is what I try to do. But that's cool. I've been training a lot. I can take it easy for a little bit. Help absorb what I've been doing. So my plan is take my laptop, do work, catch up on things. Be there, listen to his stories. They always got great stories. And then if there is time, I do it mostly for my own sanity, you know. It's like there's like one of the world's best running trails right in south side of Tyler. It's awesome. Just go run there, come back, or grab a meal and come back. And then I think also, I've done it once, maybe twice, I think once. The thing is Tyler is ride the bike at work, but just do intervals and not much else, because it's not really a good, really like longer running bike or riding bike. Yeah, it's just like a typical stationary bike. But do intervals on it like your weightlifting kind of thing. And see that? Oh, boy. If I'm there for 2 days, you know, honestly, what I would do if it was doable is run one day. I don't need to bike long or anything, but just do some bike intervals. I'm telling you, it takes like 30 minutes, that's all. And I don't want to take my bike just to do that. Just to go ride up and down a hill a few times. It's a lot of bike to take. Have somebody steal off your car. But I do not know what to do. But that's part of it, man, figuring it out. Gotta get it all figured out. Sun's starting to come up a little bit. As always, it's way darker than it looks like on camera. iPhone makes it pick up light pretty nice. Car coming, so I gotta turn on my light. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And what a time for Chase Wark to do that 300. Holy crap. And Ted King. So I found out more details about it. The details are out there, but they're like spread out like in random places. You have to kind of look, figure it out. Ted King and Chase Wark both decided, amazingly, because conditions were okay, to try to break the record for the fastest known time for the Mid-South Mega, which is 300 miles. I'm not sure if they knew that they were both going to try for it. And then Ted King set off at 6 and Chase set off at 7 a.m. And then at some point they decided to do it to raise money to help out with the houses that were burned down and the damage, other damage to the Stillwater area from the wildfires that had just happened. And Chase did it. Well, Ted came in first, but then Chase was actually faster. Ted was just over 17 hours, I believe, for 300 miles. And Chase was under it, 17 hours for 300 miles. It's like, man, this is such a cool thing. The long distance, self-supported. Because I've been doing self-supported stuff forever. So it was like really inspirational. The problem with mine, the 400 miles, is this is my first time doing completely overnight, the full night with lights, and needing, it's going to be so long that the navigation bike computer situation is going to be a problem. It'll be interesting. They had perfect weather. And I don't just bike. If I only biked, and spent all my training time biking instead of running and swimming, I'd be way more confident that I'd be able to finish. But I don't. So I'm in way over my head. So, since I'm in way over my head, even though it adds more weight, bunny rabbit. Even though it adds more weight, I'm packing a hammock and I'm gonna sleep. I bet. A little bit on the first night. But this is all like, dude, who knows, because of the weather, right? Weather just changes everything. Cold and rain really messes with stuff. So and then also mechanicals. You're going that far on a bike, there's a really good chance you're gonna have some sort of mechanical issue. I broke my crank the other day, just the chain ring. Talk about just an odd thing. And I know how to change out brake pads, I've done it. But doing it in the rain when you're tired in the middle of the night is a whole nother thing. But my goal, probably what I'm going to end up doing, almost guaranteed. In fact, I should have the mindset that this is what I'm going to do. And then if I happen to go better, then yay. You kind of like plan for the worst. And then if you do better, then great. It's just do a nice and chill pace. Work the uphills, cruise the downhills. Keep the rubber side down. And then when I get tired in the middle of the night, take a nap. For a few hours maybe. Look at sunrise. Cross the water here in a second. Okay, big cross. Cross. You can teach your dog commands kind of like huskies, sled dogs. When cross the street, the command is cross. That means it's okay to cross the street. And when I want them to get out of the street and up onto a sidewalk, if they're like sidewalks next to the street or up into the grass and out of the street, it's up, up. And then like horses' reins, you can just very gently kind of pull to one side, and then it's like steering a car. And then also dogs are so smart. Horses do this too. They know the route. So when you get to the turn that you always turn on, they turn anyway. It's pretty neat. Anyway, I could imagine me getting 320 done by nightfall on day 2. Especially if I take that nap. Thing is, because I'm going to be doing 400, that nap might be necessary, so that it's preventative medicine, you know? And then you get back to the starting line, and your car and everything's there, but then you have to do another 70 miles. So you're talking, as tired as you are, that's 5 hours. Because Kai and I did it fresh, and it took us 4 hours and 15 minutes. So my plan is to have, irregardless of whatever's going on, to have 5 hours of fuel and water ready to go. And depending on how I feel and the battery situation and the saddle sores and muscle strain and all that other stuff is if I decide to go for the death loop, the extra 70. There's a water tower in there. Okay, River, let's push it a little bit. Got a little uphill here. Good time to push. Practice. During yesterday's bike ride, I was doing kind of polarized training, which was working the uphills and into the wind a little extra hard. Kind of like little intervals. And then recovering on the easier part. Try to get the most out of that 3 hours. Yeah, and the other thing is I've been sick. Like everything bad all happens at once. But that's just the way life is. A 100-year storm doesn't happen every 100 years. As they famously teach you in environmental science classes. You could have 2 in 1 year. Uh-oh, there's a dog. There's a dog over there. There's a dog. River. See, he gets that head low predator kind of attitude right there. Come on, leave him alone. He owns that side of the street today. Let's finish this uphill hard. But anyway, I could take another break at my truck. The cool thing about American full-size pickup trucks, I don't know if Nissans and Toyotas do this, but the full-size ones, for sure, like Ford and Dodge and Chevy, is the outlets for charging stuff work even when the truck is off. Most cars, you turn them off, everything turns off to save the battery. There's something about trucks where they're considered to be work vehicles, where it's, I can lay in the bed of the truck and take a nap for like an hour or so. Watch it be 5 hours. And I have 6, 7 ports, I think, 8, that'll all charge things while I take a nap with the engine off. That's pretty cool. So I'm thinking that'll probably happen. Just pause to turn on my blinky light. So yeah, the plan is I'm still doing the race because I've signed up and paid for it. It's the weekend anyway. And then in my mind, I already prepared myself that leading up to it, there would be, it's such a good thing to, from experience, you learn. When you have a goal, life throws crap in your path just constantly. So you just have to modify what you're doing and remember, you know, are you a professional? What do you want? You want to sniff something? What? No. I have a coaching business, and it's important for me to do this. So I'm gonna still try to get it done. And then we got something fun to talk about for episodes and episodes and episodes. Oh, here we go. This dog's name is Moose, and he's huge. River likes to get into it with him. Not a river. River, come on. They have beef. What I've been doing since I've kind of overcome my running injury is the very last part of my run has these punchy little rises and dips. It's the end of the workout. And I use those, like right now, this is an uphill. To really make sure that I got something out of this workout. And up until now, just kind of cruising easy. And it works nice. If you do the hard work too soon, then the rest of your run doesn't really help. It's making things worse. If you do the hard stuff at the end, then the whole first part of your run is good. Zen 2. I should trademark that. Patented trademark. That's mine. I said so. But if you go easy the first, say it's an hour workout, the first 40 minutes, the very first part is your warm up. The next 30, 40 minutes is zone 2. Working on that. Fat metabolism and just efficiency and stuff. And then the last 15 minutes or so, do a little bit of interval work. You train like that, you'll notice the next time you run, you're a little bit faster every time. It's nice. All right, see y'all there. Keep y'all posted.